Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone as we get to ride home with each other. You can find us on television. We are syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire, and channel 182 on Charter Spectrum. That's close to Huntsville, Alabama. You can also find the podcast on thenewscasters.com and the biggest radio country station in South Carolina, WZLA. Make sure you tune them out. You can also find us another way. That's yournews.com. Although I've got to kind of work on that a little bit. It's not up to snuff yet. And Sam Elliott is going to help me get this, or actually not me, he's going to work with Phil on this. I think he's decided I'm not the tech person in this business.
So Sam Elliott is an actor.
Sam Anthony. Why do I keep calling you Sam Elliott?
I don't know. I don't even have the white hair.
You kind of look like him a little bit.
No, I don't.
I'm trying to brace myself out of this one. Sam Anthony. Now everybody else is going to be calling you Sam Elliott.
I know.
It started with me, but anyway, I know you're going to be talking with Phil about getting this off the ground, but I have to tell you, you've got this platform that's unbelievable. And in a time when even a talk show host doesn't have a voice, bringing that to us. And I just got to say, I appreciate that. But let's talk about the many ways that could be possible in small town America.
Well, look, we're in the media industry, and I don't need to tell you that the legacy media is changing dramatically. All I do is talk to news reporters every single day. None of them can find jobs, Donna, none of them. And the reason is nobody's hiring. But by the way, just like 4 days ago, the BBC just laid off 550 people. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And more cuts are coming. I swear to God, in another 3 years, I don't think there's going to be any jobs left. None. It's because everything is moving to platforms. As a matter of fact, go into your Grok or ChatGPT and ask it, what do you see as the future of media? And it'll tell you everything's moving to creator-based platforms. It's that saying it, because this is where it's all going. When you have YouTube, which has 60 million channels, and TikTok and Instagram have over 100 million, just imagine if you're on YouTube, you're telling everybody to go watch your show on YouTube. If you're on Rumble, you're telling everybody to watch your show on Rumble. Well, 60 million people are telling people to go to YouTube to watch their show. This is how they get all this traffic. And last month they had over 3 billion people. So the mainstream media just can't compete with that. It's more cost effective and targeted advertising. And so when it comes to local news, there's nobody that fills that void except me, because we're a daily like the Miami Herald, but I'm in every city in the United States, and we could serve news to a city, a county, a market, state, regional, or national. So from the content creator standpoint, our product puts the power of the press in the hands of the people, and it allows them to be able to contribute to the platform without censorship. And then we have a monetization model where creators, just like on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and X, can earn money based on how many people view their content. Mm-hmm. So this is where local news is headed. We're the only player in our space. We currently have over 6,000 news reporters. I think we're at like 6,035. I probably picked up 10 yesterday. Mm-hmm. And they have nowhere to go. And so the cool part about this, Donna, is with YouTube, you didn't have to go to journalism or broadcast journalism school to be a YouTuber, right? And YouTube, to me, is like a Comcast. Remember when Comcast had like 50 channels, then they had 150, then they had 500, then they had 1,500. Well, now YouTube has 60 million channels. And so you have a lot more options, right? But anybody could be a broadcaster on YouTube. Well, what YouTube has done to the television business, we're doing to the local news business. So anybody could be a local news reporter in their local community and cover local stories. So you no longer have to sit there and wait for somebody to do something. You could actually do it yourself. And by the way, there's literally hundreds of millions of people that are creators on different platforms. This is just the natural evolution to everything. But the good news is, because I know you complain about it, the reason we're in the mess we're in today is because of the mainstream media, because they didn't report on things, right? They either lied about it or completely disregarded it. The Hunter Biden laptop got like no minutes on almost every channel except Fox. Okay, they didn't even bring it up. So what we were living in was centralized news. And what we're doing is completely decentralizing the news business, and we're democratizing who gets to say it. And that's the most important piece. So this is going to end up becoming very good for society, because it's going to start to shed light on a lot of things that normally would have never had any light shed on them, thanks to mainstream media.
Well, see, the left and some of the right has been using the mainstream media for years to get you to promote things, to get their agenda. So let me mention this. Okay, this has been going on for a long time. This is not a recent thing. So when Brad was little, my son, this was in the 1980s, and this Tickle Me Elmo. Remember the Tickle Me Elmo fiasco?
I remember. I don't know if it was...
People were getting in fights. I mean, it was all this kind of stuff, and they were in short supply. But I think the media helped that. I don't think they were in short supply. I think they were doing this to get people to rush out and buy the Tickle Me Elmo for Christmas. So I was trying to find one because I thought, well, I'm naive, I suppose. I'm guessing that my son wants one. So I just told him, I said, Santa Claus is probably not going to be able to bring you a Tickle Me Elmo because he says he can't find one. And Brad said, I don't want one. It's a doll. I'm a guy. And he was like a little kid. And I said, you don't want one? And he said, no, Mom, I don't want to Tickle Me Elbow. That's for girls, because he considered it a doll. So see, there you go. The news media would have had me buying him something that would have cost a lot of money and would just wound up in the closet or at Goodwill. You see what I'm saying? And this has been going on for a long time. They tell you who to vote for. They tell you that, that this jab is going to be like the best thing in the world that's killing people by the millions now. I mean, it's just so many things that have been done on purpose, and people aren't picking up on it.
I think a lot of people have picked up on it. I mean, at least the people in my sphere. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of them haven't, because if you're not tuned into alternative news, you're not going to hear this stuff. You're only going to hear whatever the networks are telling you. So it's two different stories. Now, my neighbors are in their 80s, and they like, where are you hearing this? And I said, I live in an alternate reality than you, but that's okay. I bought extra COVID jabs. I'm going to give you some if you'd like some, because you need them.
Well, let me mention another thing, what I love about what you have, what I like about yournews.com. Okay, so I had started out the show 21 years ago. I was working with a television station. So I sell ads. I mean, that's how you stay on the air. You sell ads. And the TV station was getting most of the money off that. I was getting just a small fraction of it. And at times I would wonder, well, they've given me the platform, I've got to have them. Well, what's happening now is some of those ads are going south. I mean, let's take Budweiser, for instance. Okay, they bought this whole nonsense about having a trans person. I'm talking Bud Light, good old boys. They didn't really pay attention to who their customers were. And it cost them. And then you've got the legacy media who is out there just touting a bunch of nonsense. And a lot of people have gotten wise to it. So they're losing sponsors. Now, what does that tell a talk show host? Maybe I could do it on my own. And maybe I could take all of the advertising dollars.
Donna, so you can sell ads, but most content creators can't. Like, I had a conversation with a couple guys that do hockey news, and it's writing, but they've been doing it for 30 years. They work for big newspapers. And now they were part of the downsizing. They lost their jobs, and now they're trying to sell their own ads. It ain't that easy. And I'm also going to say another thing. There's no real way to be scalable unless you're Joe Rogan, because there's so many different content creators out there that in order to build a big enough audience where it makes sense for advertisers, I mean, you could get small advertisers paying you small amounts of money, but this is where platforms come in, because the platforms could have 1 million of you on there. So it's part of a community, and somebody may come in to watch something. It could be like on YouTube, they could come in to watch a health show. And then all of a sudden they find you while they did a search for something, and then they end up following you. So number one, you have the ability to be able to attract a bigger audience because you have literally billions of people on that platform. And number two, they do a rev share program where once you get monetized, you share in the ad revenue. The platform is what attracts the advertiser. So it doesn't mean you don't sell them yourself, because you could certainly sell them, but they're going to inject their own and you're going to make money off of that. That's really how it's supposed to be. This is how YouTube does it. This is how Rumble does it. This is how all the platforms do it. And it's the next mainstream media. And so that's where I keep trying to tell you, you're trying to sell ads, and yes, you could sell ads to the local businesses, but to sell it at scale, it's much harder. You know, I mean, remember, Joe Rogan had 11 million people watch his show on average daily. Mm-hmm. That's bigger than Fox, CBS, ABC, NBC, and MSNBC combined daily.
So let's talk about the folks who have been in media. They've worked for a television or radio station or whatever, podcast, whatever. And so, and they've been doing this for years, and they're just not seeing it. Okay, I see it. I just wanted to give you the hook.
Is there somebody that doesn't see it?
So let's just see it, because a lot of folks, they see a lot of people who they want you to look at their cat 24/7. So it's not really something of interest of a content, but somebody who really has a voice and they really want to get it out there. So let's talk to that person right now. How can you get out there, and how can you make an income?
Well, we're a platform, so it's no different than YouTube. If you want to report news, I'm not talking about people that, want to put up opinions and, post the classifieds. I'm talking about do real news reporting. Mm-hmm. You have to build an audience. I mean, content creators, Donna, today are really entrepreneurial, and they leverage the platforms because they need the technology, number one, but it's for distribution and monetization, but they have to build their own audiences. Mm-hmm. And like any platform, some people's content resonates more with the masses than others, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is where we say the marketplace is who decides. So if somebody's interested in becoming a content creator on our platform and covering local news, they have to build an audience. And so, yes, they create an account on our platform and they're monetized immediately. But just if you got monetized on YouTube and you posted a video doesn't mean you're going to get 20 grand. You have to, nobody with one video in their channel makes any money. By the time they have the 500th video, the money starts to come in, because each link is like its own business. And every time that thing gets views, it racks up money. It works the same with me. So the creators have to come in and say, okay, this is my business. I know people in the community. I'm going to build a following leveraging this platform. And so let's ultimately, just like on YouTube and Facebook and X, everybody knows you can follow somebody. Once you build a big enough following, when you submit an article, the article will immediately be distributed to all your followers. And the moment they click on it, it racks up money. So to make it simple, if you have 500 people following you, you'll make X amount of dollars. If you have 5,000 people following you, you'll make 10 times that money. Mm-hmm. Makes sense?
Yeah, we've got to go into a commercial break. Sure. We're going to come back in just a minute. Everybody hang in there.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakelands Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching Your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakelands Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone, or any time that you'd like to see it. If you go to yournews.com, I've got Sam Anthony with me right now. So good to be with you, Sam.
Good to be with you, Donna.
I wanted to mention another person. I never really got into NASCAR until I interviewed one of her people. Man, she's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't know you did that show already. Okay, very cool.
Yeah. And so many.
Sarah Talker, you're talking about Sarah.
Sarah is just awesome, and I got to find out a little bit more about her background and what got her from where she was to where she is right now. Come to find out, some of your shyest people make the best talk show hosts. She was extremely shy. She was telling me about that. Went through a rough patch in life, and the girl's a winner. Sarah is a winner.
Absolutely. And so, what she's describing, we have a content creator, a news reporter that does strictly NASCAR news. It's her passion. She loves it. As a matter of fact, it's exclusive to yourNews. I mean, all her content, right? So she's now pumping out news stories, which goes in our sports auto racing section, and she's building a national audience. And so, by the way, in order to report on NASCAR, before the internet, you had to be with ESPN or whoever's covering NASCAR, right? All of a sudden, she's a NASCAR reporter, and she actually gets into the events. She goes to the races and covers the races, which is really cool. So good for her. I mean, this is how the internet is changing the landscape for news reporting, because now somebody like Sarah, who's never been a journalist, can all of a sudden become a NASCAR journalist, and it's up to her to build a following. But I want you to think about this. She now has credentials to get into NASCAR races. Mm-hmm. Think about that. So she doesn't work for ESPN. She doesn't work for NBC. She doesn't work for CNN or ABC or any of these networks. But on our network, she now can get into NASCAR and cover NASCAR events. That is cool as hell.
So who needs ESPN? When you've done it and you can do it on your own, who needs all that?
Well, that's the point. And so, you're still going to have the ESPNs of the world because sports are so massive. But over time, I see the money moving away from that, because as we scale and get bigger, we're going to have people covering everything. Like, I have people that cover Arizona State University volleyball. Mm-hmm. We'll figure. I have people covering there's a what do they call it? It's in arena football, right? The Arizona Rattlers. They're covering that. Now that's only Arizona news, but the point is sports news. But the point is who else is covering that? Mm-hmm. So the real beauty of this is the local, Donna, because anybody can cover the Monday Night Football game. It's really the high school football games and the local stuff that matters to the community, and all that stuff is being left. That void needs to be filled, mm-hmm. and that's what we do. So it'll really be a community-powered press, a people-powered press, and that's where I say we're putting the power to press back in the hands of the people. You've heard General Flynn say it many times about local impact, right? You've heard him say that stuff. Well, the local newspaper has always been the backbone of a free society, and with the passing of the local paper, which basically there's almost none left, what we're bringing back is local news in a digital format.
There's a Fox News television station about 2 hours away from us, going north toward Charlotte, North Carolina. And what I hear people around here saying in our local area, and folks who are local, you might want to think about this if you would like to be a reporter, is they never say anything about us. It's always the big city of Greenville, South Carolina. Sometimes they'll throw Anderson in there. They talk about Charlotte a lot, North Carolina. But the small towns feel a bit left out. Or if there's anything about us, it has to be like a hurricane coming through, something like that. And then you're going to get a short blurb. Then they're going to talk more about upstate, So a lot of folks in small town, especially since so many of the big stations have taken cuts, and they've laid people off, there's not enough people out there to cover. So what you got going on is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Donna, are you talking about the television network TV stations, the local affiliates? Uh-huh. So the reason is, the market I'm in is the Palm Beach market, which goes from Boca Raton all the way up to Sebastian. It's a 5-county market. Mm-hmm. From Boca Raton to Sebastian, hour and 40 minutes maybe, right? Like in all the cities in between. So they have to cover topics that would have mass appeal. Mm-hmm. Like the bigger stuff, right? And remember, they only have 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they can cover everything, because if you covered everything, they'd be there for 6 hours, and they only have 30 minutes to get that stuff out. So that's one reason, number one. Number two, think of the cost involved. Like Nick Shirley broke the story in Minneapolis about the Leary Center, and then all the fraud that was happening with with all these daycares, which now turns into all kinds of problems. Yeah. But he did it with a cell phone. He just pulled up, parked, got his phone out, and started walking and talking to people. And have you ever seen a news truck? The big box truck with the satellite on there, and 4 people, 6 people get out, and they've got the camera crews and the reporter. I want you to think about how much money that costs to do the same thing that somebody can walk up with this and do. So it's typically the cheapest way to do something is the one that wins. And that's why even the local TV stations are not going to survive, because they have too big of a physical cost. I mean, what do you think it costs for a network station to operate a local affiliate?
I know exactly what it costs.
I'm going to say $3 million a year. Am I right?
And even if you're selling ads and you're bringing in $3 million a year, you're spending it. I mean, it's going out the door. The first television station I worked at, we had a camera crew, we had the lighting people, we had all this stuff. So I would dread remotes. I mean, it was just like, and then and I still have to tell you, camera guys, I mean, they live in a different world. I mean, they're not on Earth. And so they would always come in late. And so I was to the point where if I had a remote at 10, I would just tell them 9. That way I would get them there at a halfway decent hour. Well, that cost a lot of money. It cost the television station a ton of money. And there were usually at least 2 people doing that. And then you would have other people handling the sound. I'm just saying, my cell phone I use when I'm out on remote, I'm just telling you, the sound is just as good. And the lighting quality is just as good.
No question about it. I mean, the cell phones we have today, like all the videos that I do and I send out, all come from my iPhone. And I have an app. I paid like $79 for the year for it. And if I want to do a video, it's amazing. I mean, this is high quality stuff, isn't it? And this was $500 or something like that. So there you go.
I mean, way less than. And again, when I was with the station, I watched the money I was bringing in was going right out to these news guys or to everybody else. You know, and it's almost like being in the government. You're paying taxes. And you're getting very little back, and you're watching the money go elsewhere.
Exactly.
I mean, it's almost the same point.
Well, the taxes might be a little bit different than ad revenue, but those people always want more. When it comes to the TV, it's a business, and those are not going to survive because they're more cost-effective ways to consume that information and report on it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't understand that. I'm just telling you, there'll be a day where the local CBS and ABC affiliates are gone. Yeah. It will happen faster than you think because the money goes where attention is, and the attention is on the platforms. Mm-hmm. It's just more cost effective. That's all it is.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 minutes left in this segment. How can folks find out more about you? How can they get in contact with you?
So if somebody's interested in becoming a citizen reporter, a monetized citizen reporter, and start covering local news, you would go to yournews.com. If you go scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see something that says become a citizen journalist. You click that. And then there's a few videos you could watch. There's an application down below you fill out. And then once you get approved, you'll get an email with instructions on how to use your dashboard. And then if, we're doing an equity crowdfund, which, we're raising capital. I'm not doing it through traditional means, through institutional money, simply because the reason we're in the mess we're in today is because institutions control the mainstream media and they had an agenda they were pushing. So we decided not to raise capital that way. We're raising capital via something called an equity crowdfund. So for people that understand what we're doing, this will become the next mainstream media. We're selling stock to we the people. So this is a people-powered press, Donna. And if you're really going to be a people-powered press, and I were to tell you, well, by the way, we just took investments from BlackRock and Vanguard, you'd probably question my integrity, right? So we're allowing the public to get in and buy stock in the company, and they could spend as little as $300 and everywhere in between. As a matter of fact, the offering is teeny. I'm doing a $365,000 raise. I just completed one. We're doing a small one at the same number, followed up by a bigger number. So I'll complete this one. Then we'll do one that's going to be a higher number. And then from there, I knock on wood, I think we could get this to a public company within 36 months.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sam, thank you so much for being with me today. It's always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. And guys, Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sending email, Donna at donnasedge.com, Donna at donnasedge.com. If you're tired of the same old, you got to talk to Sam Anthony. He'll get you put on straight. Thank you again so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great, great day.